Welcome back, and our nostalgia segment is the talk of retirement villages all over town. A trip back to a simpler time when the game was all about the big marks, the big goals, and when contested ball was something you only heard about at a 70s swingers party. Round 14 over the years has had some great grabs, some great finishes, and plenty of rough and tumble. Let's take a look at some of the best, because like the brown velvet suit Graham Teasdale wore to the 1977 Brownlow, so are the rounds of our lives. God, that contested ball. Okay, pretty contemporary stuff today, with the exception of one very, very memorable clip. Let's start off in 2002. The venue is Etihad Stadium, or as it was then known, Telstra Dome. The teams are Essendon and the Western Bulldogs. Scores are tight all night. It's going to go down to the wire. Who will win? Let's find out.
So Luke Darcy, if he can convert, the Dogs are in front by a point. Deep into time on in the last quarter. Darcy's kick two. It's coming back. It's a goal. Dogs in front by a point. Desperate. Comes to Croft. Croft gets it out to West. West kicks only as far as Barnard. Here's a chance. He bangs it long. Can Lloyd complete the story tonight? It's a free kick. It's a free kick to Lloyd. And the siren's gone. The siren's gone. And Lloyd can complete the Cinderella comeback if he kicks the goal. He's kicked 5 straight. He's only 20 metres out. If he kicks it, the Bombers win. A point will make it a tie.
You'd have to think that Essendon can't lose. He'd have to score.
So Matthew Lloyd, a point will tie it up. A goal will win it. He's kicked 5 straight in his comeback game. What a fairy tale finish if he can nail it.
Well, he was definitely held. You could see it.
Definite free kick.
Jumper was pulled.
So look at the players around the ball. Matthew Lloyd, 20 metres out, the angle's acute. In he comes for goal number 6. He's missed it. We have a tie at Colonial. What a sensational game of football. And I know.
Well, there you go. Not often Lloydie misses a clutch shot like that. Little postscript to that, Finey. You know where I was when he had that shot at goal?
If you weren't on the ground, I'll collapse.
I was on the ground.
At the ground at least.
I was on the ground. I was boundary riding that night, and back in the good old days when the siren went, we used to jump the fence to go to the rooms, and we jumped the fence, and a few of us decided to walk on with the trainers and staff and everyone else. So I'm standing there about 20 metres behind Lloydie with one of the old Essendon trainers, John Kilby. He's going, "You reckon he'll kick it?" Lloydie won't miss. Oh, God, he's missed. I think as a result of that, they actually banned people from coming on until the umpires had given the final all clear. So sorry about that.
When Neil Armstrong took those famous first steps on the moon, were you there?
No, I wasn't, but I was watching on TV, and I do remember it. One of my earliest memories. I was 4 years old, just came home from kindergarten, had a nice little lunch, and then sat down and watched.
And I was in prep, and they wheeled in their old black and white TV that they used to use for behind the news, was wheeled in as man was about to take first step on the moon. And it was wielded with the warning of, "Mark Fine, please be quiet during this."
Geez, we're old. Okay, now we're going not that far back at all, to be perfectly honest. It's 2013. Collingwood going a fair bit better than they are now, up against Port Adelaide, out at Amy Stadium, in fact, the last year of Amy Stadium. And a little lithe, goal-kicking small forward called Jamie Elliott is about to do something fairly spectacular.
The top of the square. Huge leap over the top. Can you believe it?
Jamie Elliott
with a huge fly. That could be the mark of the year.
That was an absolute beauty. You could see it coming from a mile off. We just didn't know whether he could complete it.
How graceful was it? It was poetry in motion. The balance.
And the finish.
Great grab, eh?
It's actually a brilliant mark because it's a specky, but also because there were 3 Port players. He wasn't in the contest. When you're 5'9" and there's three guys much taller than you going for the mark, there's only one way you can mark it. There's only one sport in the world you can probably win the ball in, and that's Aussie rules, and you've got to be a superstar. Little Elliott is badly missed this year.
He has been. Isn't it interesting these days? When a little guy used to take a specky, we'd all sort of go, how amazing is that? But I reckon the little blokes take them more frequently than the big blokes these days.
Yeah, well, I mean, little jacks in the box were great to watch. Although Fashini used to take...
Fischini.
That's
Alan
how to pronounce it.
Ezard took a ripper against Carlton.
We might have one coming up later on in this segment.
We might too. Paul Puopolo took one a couple of weeks ago. Okay, let's keep moving. Number 3 on the list now, and we're going down to Cardinia Park. Yes, we'll always call it Cardinia Park. 2003, Geelong, Port Adelaide. They had some great games in that middle 2000s period. This one's been tight all day. Port have staged a bit of a last-minute comeback. They've actually hit the front. How will this pan out? Let's throw to the action.
And what price another draw in this AFL season? The Eagles and the Lions at the top of the ladder have already had one. Tread rate from 45 metres out against the breeze. Coming back! Goal! The Power are in front! What an unbelievable comeback! They've kicked 4 goals. King has to find someone. Clock is running. Goes short. Sanderson centre half back. Marks plays on their away. Sanderson goes deep. The breeze carries it to 55. Graham. Oh, he could nearly kick it from here. Scarlett leading forward. Graham. Scarlett. And no bounce through. Geelong in front. Graham's kicked it 60 metres. It's bounced through. And Geelong have the lead by a point.
Well, there you go, Ben Graham.
It's one of my favourite sort of trivia moments in football. Ben Graham, less than a minute to go, marks 60 metres out and kicks the winning goal. Do people know that he actually overshot a pass that was... He wasn't even a shot at goal.
I was going to say, how often can you say you kick the winning goal without trying to?
Yeah, I mean, is that how he got picked up by the NFL to be a long kicker in their game? No, he miskicked a pass that sort of bounced through everybody, went for a goal. It's great to ask people to say, well, how did he kick that goal?
They had some great games still on Port. Of course, 2007, a few years later, a real classic when Port actually reversed that reversal.
One of the only teams to win at Skilled Stadium, Simmons Stadium,
yeah.
Shell Stadium. By the way, when you said we're going down to Cardinia Park, you missed a great Aussie rock reference.
What was it?
Going down to a certain town.
I was thinking Funky Town?
Pussy.
Okay, I was thinking either Funky Town or South Park,
Great
which
song,
we'll
by the
go
way.
with in the G-rated version, which we'll have cleaned up for later. Okay,
It's a great song.
It is a good song. Number 2. Now, this is going way back to 1975. Yes, Finey, I was at this one as well. And this is a famous game both for what happened in the second quarter in terms of the football, but also what happened in the second quarter in terms of the fights. Let's have a look.
When Essendon and Carlton met the second time round, there were some old scores to settle. Field umpire Ian Robertson had his hands full as he sorted this tangle out. In a marathon sitting of the league tribunal, 8 players faced 11 charges. Carlton's Rod Ashman and Rod Austin got 4 weeks. Philip Pennell 2 weeks and David Mackay a reprimand. Of the Essendon players, Robin Close and Laurie Maloney got 2 weeks, with Ron Andrews and Neville Fields cleared. In the second encounter for the year, Carlton won the fight and the match by 80 points. The Blues kicked a record 14-1 in the second quarter and still had time to brawl.
Well, it wasn't quite as vicious as the famous Windy Hill brawl of the previous year, but some real haymakers thrown there.
That was vicious. That was, nowadays it's pushing and shoving and fines at high noon. They were punctures.
Yeah, well, Stephen Beaumont, number 3 for Essendon, Tasmanian, tough Tasmanian. Laurie Maloney threw a couple there.
Was Brian Walsh involved? I mean, he played for Essendon and Carlton, maybe both teams in 75.
Yeah, I think he was in an Essendon jumper at that stage, but Carlton that day, they held their own in the fights, and they certainly more than held their own in the football. This is an amazing quarter. I think they're about 5 goals down at the first change. Came out in the second quarter, and as well as having time to brawl, they had time to play some incredible football. 14-goal second quarter. Let's have a look how they did it.
To the ground, here's Keogh coming out with the ball, a hand pass across here to Manjuls. Manjuls a long one and he's popped it right through.
Carlton goal. They're trailing by 15 points at the moment. Jones and Jenkins. Oh, nearly a free kick to Jones, I'd say. Yes, a free kick. He got on his shoulder, no doubt. Jones coming in for their third goal if he can kick it. Looks pretty good.
Right through. Going to Manjuls. Manjuls of Carlton. Oh, really hoofs this one deep into the forward zone. Jones is there. Comes over to Davis. Davis pops it. Olsen of Carlton. A big kick into the forward zone. Mackay's in front there. Up he goes. Comes down with him. Directly in front. Kicking to the eastern end or out of goal. He kicks.
That's a kick right down past the half-forward line. Mackay getting for position. He's got it. Mike said before he must be giving him about 5 inches. Mackay again, a 5 for the goals. It looks pretty good again.
I remember it well. Percy Jones, Swan Mackay, Robert Walls, even Craig Davis running amok.
Barry, number 12, Barry, was it Montgomery? Who was?
For Essendon.
For Carlton.
What number?
Number 12.
Was
it Barry Montgomery?
No.
No. They're a midfielder, number 12.
Rod Ashman?
No, number 14.
All right, we'll get back to that in our trivia night, which I just thought of then.
Number 10, was that John O'Connell?
Alan Mangles.
It was Mangles by
Yeah, Albie Mangles. Okay, time for number 1. Now, we showed a great mark before, and that was pretty good. But, sorry, couldn't hold a candle to this one. The year is 2001. The venue is again Telstra Dome. The teams are again Western Bulldogs and Essendon. Chris Tarrant, we showed you this a few weeks ago. Chris Tarrant for Collingwood thinks he has taken the mark of the year, but he's in for a bit of a rude shock. We talked about little guys taking marks, Finey. They don't come much better than this one.
Moorcroft's taken a few marks, just body from behind.
So 11-5 again, and again out of the centre. Lalich doing well to Heffernan. Second time he's taken out in a minute. Lucas read it best. Wrong side for him. Hooks it back. What a mark! Sensational!
He's taken the wind out of himself. And why wouldn't he? Because he sucked it in from the stratosphere when he was up there.
When that ball was kicked, I thought he's got no chance of marking it, and he's that hot. He just threw himself at it, and it stuck. Joe Cassini just looked at the scoreboard and said, I want to see it again.
I tell you what, I reckon Chris Tarrant's looking at the scoreboard and saying, I might have lost the car.
That is it. That is it. Look.
Unbelievable, Mark.
That is going to be on bars, and that's going to be on pub walls for the next 100 years, that side-on shot.
I tell you how good it is. It'll be on CNN. That was unbelievable.
I hope he kicks it.
He will. He does. Brilliant.
Now, if there's a photographer who's captured that from side on, that shot will be behind the man standing behind the bar around Australia for the next 100 years. Oh my God.
That was unbelievable. This will shock you. I was doing the boundary that night, Finey, and the entire crowd, even Bulldog supporters, got to their feet and applauded for fully 30 seconds. Unbelievable stuff. Also very significant, by the way, and you would have seen it there in that last replay, the only time in his entire AFL career Scott Lucas used his wrong foot.
And that mark was even better because it was a mongrel punt. It wasn't spinning easily. He paid a price though, Gary Moorcroft. He would suffer back injury. You know, he got injured from that fly.
Yeah.
It impacted on his career. And by the way, I remember who that number 12 was for Carlton.
Who was it?
You should have known because you were on the moon.
Oh, hang on.
You were on the moon with his brother.
I've got it. Yeah, Barry Armstrong.
Spot on.
It didn't come to me at the right time. Not happy about that. We'll work on it.